If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form, and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J or join our Facebook group.
Hello and welcome to Leaders of Tomorrow, 18-hour special initiative that celebrates the undying entrepreneurial spirit of micro, small and medium enterprises. This is the only daily MSME platform in the country, a show where you can voice your concerns and get answers to all of your questions from our experts. We understand the issues that you face, and this show aims to bring you the most relevant and updated information on everything related to your businesses. Let's kick the show off tonight with a quick look at the top headlines. Tonight then, to answer all of your queries, I have with me in the studio Ashish Fafadia, he's the CFO at Bloom Ventures. We also have, as always, T.R. Bajalia, he's the former DMD of SIDBI. He's also the ex-executive director and head of the SME business at IDBI Bank. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Such a pleasure to have you both with us here tonight. Let's bring in our first query. It's coming to us from Akhil Masoor, who says, how can he send herbal products? And we assume that he's someone who works in the herbal products business to Western countries, especially to Canada. And how can he get a subsidized loan for manufacturing and selling products to other countries, including the Gulf nations? So, especially as far as exports go for MSMEs. One, for an MSME that's focused specifically on the export market, and two, in terms of markets, he very clearly is asking about Canada and assume that's a market that's much better for his products than others. What would you advise?
For any product which is going to be exported, I think incentive mainly he can get that export packing credit, that is at the time of manufacturing of that product at that stage, and then post shipment credit also he can get, which is at a lower rate. So, interest wise he can get the benefit, but how to export to these countries, I think it depends on his clients there. He has to find out where he is going to market, what is the market, and how much he can export to those countries. Depending on that, he has to find the size of his exports. If the size is quite big, he knows that how to big exports he has to do, and if it is going to be a very small thing, perhaps maybe he has to send by the couriers and this thing.
Okay.
So, it will be also worthwhile for him to explore, if he is MSME is in small target export sizes, to figure out whether there are local distributors of those products. If there are a lot of such distributors in various countries who are looking to have inbound inquiries for products across borders. So, if they tie up with such a person who is looking to have products from India launched in Canada, and that will be a very effective channel. What it ensures is that he will have the critical mass and volumes to be able to ship out on a very cost efficient basis, while he, for a small profit share, be able to distribute across the vast country like Canada.
Okay, Akhil, that's in response to your query. Thanks for that. Let's take in our next one, and this is coming to us from Vijay Sundaram. He's calling in with his question. Go ahead, Vijay.
How effectively integrate the academia and industry for a better skill development, and this is to improve the employment opportunity for the fresh graduates and diploma holders across the country, because the biggest challenge is employment for youth is a big challenge.
This is a question that we are yet to see on the show, and it's good that Vijay, if he's an MSME, is really thinking along these lines, wants to know how to integrate academia in industry. And while the government is talking about Skill India, Make in India, etc., what advice would you have?
So, in terms of integration, what will be really valuable is that academia sees this beyond what today they do in terms of the 2-month internships and summers and all that. We have seen an increasing trend towards people trying to first get 2, 3, 4 years of work experience and then go in for their management courses and all that. But there are a lot of other initiatives that could help. For example, coupling work experience as a part of the program and curriculum. Just a small stint of a few weeks by and large ends up people in either sales kind of roles or just very rudimentary back office or administrative roles for most people, unless you're coming from the creme de la creme institutes. We need to have a rethink on that. That can change when you are going to be able to deliver some of the projects over a slightly longish kind of a period, and you will be able to have SMEs also going and benefiting, because not necessarily you will have fancy packages to be given which otherwise large industries can afford, which SMEs cannot typically afford.
Sure.
We see that during the last 4 years, almost 58 lakh people have been given a sort of training, and in India it is, when we compare, it is just 2.3% of the total workforce, and as compared to 75% in Germany, 96% in South Korea, 80% in Japan. So, we are very minuscule when we talk about this training. Lot of scope is there, and government has realized now, and they are taking various steps. Various institutions which were earlier started locally for various specific like industries, now they have been identified like EIDs, EDIs, EDIIs. So, various institutions, they are giving a sort of training, and mostly MSME requirement is considered.
Okay, Vijay, that's in response to your query. Thanks for calling in with that. In fact, our next query is also coming to us from Sandeep Shah. Sandeep, what's your question?
We are a measurement and automation company, and we built an electronic equipment which is usable in defense sector. We need about 8 crore rupees to build a manufacturing facility for these products that are already proven in prototype. However, defense being the only single customer, we cannot hedge our business in other sectors, and this has been preventing banks to fund us. So is there any other means by debt or equity or any government grant by which we can fund a business like this targeted at defense sector?
We were talking about Skill India, and the reason I'm going back to that is because also defense is something that the government is very keen on, and
Yes.
is trying to have, the offset policy, for example.
Yeah.
What advice would you have for Sandeep, but he's talking specifically about being able to hedge in
Right.
some senses risks?
I think you need to present to your banks on what you're exactly trying to do. You will have a few options. So you can go and figure out what your payment contracts are going to be. You can structure as part of the contract payments as some advance, and then you will have a staggered credit system which can flow either on the basis of factoring of the loan or receivables financing, where you can get basis the brand of the customers who you are dealing with. That is one option that can do. If he is looking at rapidly expanding this business and scale, then he could also apply and figure out whether he is looking at some equity involvement in terms of funding as well. If there is going to be very high degree of innovation in the whole thing, he is looking at rapidly scaling it up to other use cases beyond defense, or defense into other countries and all that, subject to dynamics of policy and regulation, he could go in for venture capital as well. That's something which has got its own nuance in terms of technology, scalability, and quality of the team that he has built out. But I think these are the two very straightforward opportunities that he has, and he should explore basis dynamics of his business.
Defense sector has just opened up, and there is huge potential for the unit which are getting involved in this type of business. And when the sector is growing, lot of potential is there. I think banks definitely will be aware of this, and simply they can't ignore that that he may not be in a position to get the money, because ultimately cash flows, banks lend against the cash flows. If his cash flows are going to improve, or if he provides some additional small collateral, I think banks will be happy to finance this.
Sandeep, that is in response to your query, a detailed response about how you can go about getting the kind of funds that you need. The next query is coming to us from Milind Chitawar. He's sent in his query via email saying how an SME service sector unit can scale. In fact, gentlemen, I want to broad base it a little bit and say that one is how you can scale, but the second, and we get this from a lot of our viewers, should a small scale unit even be looking at scaling, and at what point in the business life cycle do you decide that maybe I have the services that are required, maybe I have the funds that are required for scaling, or should you just continue focusing on your core business?
There's no reason why SME should not be looking to scale. By all means, the ambition has to be there. At what point do you do it, and how do you do it, are the two critical sub bullets to that question. When you have achieved a certain unit economics, full capacity utilization, and a certain path in future, so if you are a pharmaceutical manufacturer or if you are a consumables manufacturer, you would know by the pulse as to whether you can procure more raw material at continuing at the same prices, availability is there, ability to sell is going to be unhindered. I think then you can arrange the funds. I think it's a no-brainer. You should go in for expansion.
SME units actually they start with a very small capital, but over a period of time these become a very large unit. If we see today the large unit, I think almost 50% of them has come from SME. They need to scale up, they have to scale up, and in fact the main purpose of setting up SME unit and then grow over a period of time, that is the main which India feels that this unit will provide a strength to the country. And in service sector he has to just take care about his growing demand for his products and his services. Based on that he has to do the scaling, and with growing I think everybody will be interested in financing them.
All right, let's in fact take a very quick break at this point. Lots more coming up on the other side. Just stay tuned. Welcome back. You're with us here on the Leaders of Tomorrow, and we're taking in all of your queries tonight with our panel of experts. This next query is coming to us from Jayant Joshi. Go ahead, Jayant. What's your question?
Technology is changing very fast, and we have to align our developments and solutions to suit it to the new business processes and technologies actually. The challenges with the small mid-sized companies are there. These companies are not really aware about the technology development, and they don't have those skills which can really effectively use this particular solution. So they need a lot of training also. And all to support all this holistically, the domain, the technology, we need to have a solid, strong funding. And this is what is a challenge which really we are facing it out.
Talking specifically about marketing and therefore, increasing awareness about that, do you have anything you'd like to say to him?
For SME marketing, I think NSIC, they provide the support, maybe to display their products, help them in having exhibition abroad or other places, then provide them soft loans for meeting their marketing requirement. So, the government is providing that support, it is there.
So, in terms of specific skills of marketing, what Jayant is trying to understand, I think of course you will get into continuous upgrade and understand your industry and learn. But a very important facet of growth is also going to be how you are going to leverage on experts beyond your business. So, there are two levels of things that you could do here. One is work with a professional who understands your business. Go through the whole process of identifying somebody who is going to be a professional and expert in the space, engage with them professionally. Yes, this might cost a little bit, but then it's worth it rather than you getting into experimentation and losing time and money after. So I think it's not super important that everything you must have in-house. SMEs have they have been the backbone of propelling outsourcing solutions and all that. They have to also learn to outsource professional services which are a gap in their organizations.
That's in response to your query, Jayant. If need be, do engage the help of specialists, whether that's an additional cost or not, because it will definitely be beneficial in the long run, is the takeaway for you from our experts. Our next query is coming to us on Facebook. Biswajit Dey has written in to us to say, how can a small software company showcase its products? He also wants to know if there's any proper channel for software exports. When he's talking about showcasing products, I'm assuming he's talking also about branding and marketing. So for a software company, it is a no-brainer that you use a lot of technology, of course, right, whether it comes to your business, whether it comes to marketing and branding, but would you have anything you'd want to say to him?
So there are a lot of initiatives and engagement happening at the industry level. So whether it's about the NASSCOM initiative, where they are looking to propel startups and technology businesses to a new level, or there are from time to time there are specific sub-industry exhibitions and shows that happen. I think it's definitely a good idea for you to be there in one of those. So if you are a part of the telecom innovations or you have a product which is relevant for hospitality sector, it's definitely worth your while to be able to have a stall there and showcase yourself, attend the exhibition and the events that go around it, network to the people. That is about creating awareness.
Sure.
In terms of advertising, I think initially it's definitely worthwhile to go and use the immediate options, which is social media. You have if you're savvy enough on Twitter, Facebook, you blog about your products. You create awareness about what is a unique proposition that is available with you in your solutions, and engage with people, get testimonials. Use your website as a very effective mode of communication. Automate, you are a software company, automate as much as you can. Reach out to people using SEO with Google Analytics, etc.
This IT local, in fact, areas, there are associations also, various associations. So these associations also take care of marketing of these products. They arrange in various countries, or they display the products at various in the country or abroad. So they also make a lot of efforts for marketing of these products. They expand the range of the products and go to the other countries wherever these requirements are there.
Okay, let's take in our next query. This is a call coming to us from Mangesh Parab. Mangesh, what's your question for our experts?
Why there is no compulsion of education or degree while doing real estate broking? Like why every single person comes into real estate, sir, maybe broking ka kaam karta. Why there is no certificate or anything given to any broker?
I want to talk about all the changes that have been happening in the real estate industry and tie it into Mangesh's question. You know, you have RERA, which is going to come about. The government has opened up the industry for FDI, REITs, invests. For the smaller player, and particularly, you know, someone say like Mangesh who's involved in as a real estate agent, what advice would you have about how quickly the industry for real estate is changing and how they can keep pace with that?
So the changes that are currently being talked about are only going to make the industry better. Leverage tech, go in for expanding your team, and get into more and more networking with peers within that geography and slightly outside to broad base your offerings. So there are people who deal only with a certain vertical. They do specialize in rentals or specialize in primary sales or secondary. I think the industry will widen and it will be a good idea for people to consolidate. So it is not going to be a case where smaller guys are going to be wiped out. They are going to become much more important, provided they are able to leverage the network and work together in unison.
Sure.
In fact, the market report is that a lot of PE funds are investing in real estate funds in the country. Actually, the clients will come to you based on your information, whether you are in sale of the flats or purchase of the flats or on renting side. So if you have got the details, more and more information is available, perhaps you can get more and more clients. Yeah. So you have to build on the information.
Our last query tonight is coming to us on Facebook from Kasam Sheikh, who says she runs her own business, and in order to run that business smoothly, wants to understand three things in fact. Yeah. How to go about hiring talent for scaling, how to stay competitive in a cutthroat economy, and how she can make profits in her scrap business. What would your advice be?
There is plenty of talent available in the country, only you have to, as he has mentioned in the earlier question, that he has to be in touch with the people, maybe through various sources of the technology, and give them more information, get them involved in that. So based on that only, when the people become aware of that concern and they see their future, they will be interested in joining such companies. So you have to make use of technology and get involved with the people, what kind of people you want, and at what age the people you want. You want the fresh graduates, then perhaps maybe the campus recruitment for good company is easily possible. And if you want at a higher level, perhaps you have to target the particular industry where from you can get those type of people. So they have to work on that. Next question is that how can I stay competitive in cutthroat economy? I feel that the two factor which I feel that one is the cost factor, that you have to be cost competitive as along with your peers and this thing, and another is the quality of your products. these are very, very important for creating demand for any of your product. If you are cost competitive and you are again taking care of the timely delivery and this thing, perhaps you can create your own demand. And how I can make profit in my scrap business, I do not know which scrap business is there, but if we see the metals like steel and this thing, they are having huge demand.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the scrap is coming by way of imports only.
Yeah.
If they have that, I think any time it is, I mean, it can be sold in the market.
Sure.
So, he has addressed all the points. I'm just adding to those little slightly different dynamics. The business of this nature, part of an unorganized industry. So, it will mean some amount of communication to the people who you want to work with. Also, it change the dynamics a little bit more. If you're looking at a business like scrap, is it only necessary that you have to be cost competitive? Maybe you could look at figuring out how you're going to have efficiencies involved, a certain quality, and therefore set up a different brand altogether.
Sure.
There are lots and lots of opportunities over the next decades that will come, where differentiator is not going to be only cost. As a market, we are showing propensity for consumption of quality products, and that includes not only consumers, that includes industry in general as well. So if you can identify what your niche is going to be, what is the gap in the market that you want to fulfill, then supernatural profits without over emphasizing and worrying for cost also is possible. I am not saying rule out cost from an efficiency perspective. Do that only to enhance your profitability, not scrounge for it.
Okay. Gentlemen, thank you very much for coming down tonight and answering all of the queries that have come in. Do remember, if you have any queries for our experts, you can write in to us at leadersoftomorrowtimesgroup.com. You can personally tweet at me. The Twitter handle is Sunanda_J. You can reach us otherwise on Twitter using the hashtag LOT, or call us on that number that you see flashing on your screens. We promise to have all of your queries answered. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
If you feel you have what it takes to be awarded as the best in the business, here is your chance to apply. Head on over to our website, download the form and apply. If you face any troubles when applying or feel the need to get in touch with us directly, email us, call us, tweet at me directly at Sunanda_J, or join our Facebook group.